Some of us grew up playing Duck Hunt on Nintendo, while others grew up during the Xbox era, blasting through the Covenant as Master Chief. It's incredible how much gaming consoles have evolved over time. Literally dozens of consoles have been released over the last few decades. We decided to geek out and make a timeline of video game console history just for fun. And who knows, it might just come in handy at your next trivia night. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon. 1972, Magnavox Odyssey. Did you know that console gaming did not begin in the 1980s? It all started in the 1960s with inventor Ralph Baer's clunky brown console known as the brown box. Magnavox later redesigned this console for the commercial market, including plastic overlays for TV screens to compensate for its poor graphics. This pioneering console paved the way for modern video games. 1987, Atari VCS 2600. In 1987, Atari created the first popular console capable of accepting game cartridges, forever changing console gaming. Previously, consoles, including Atari's own Pong, could only play self-contained games. The VCS 2600 allowed players to play popular games like Pac-Man, Asteroids, and Frogger with joysticks or paddle controllers. 1979, Intellivision. Mattel Electronics released their own console in 1979 to compete directly with the Atari 2600. The Intellivision, or Intelligent Television, was never as popular as the Atari, but it did have competitive audio effects and graphics. Golf games and Las Vegas poker and blackjack were popular Intellivision games. 1982, ColecoVision. In 1982, Coleco Industries released their answer to the Atari and Intellivision consoles. The ColecoVision supported games such as Nintendo's Donkey Kong, Sega's Zaxxon, and some less popular titles such as Ladybug and Cosmic Avenger. The Coleco also had expansion modules that allowed gamers to play popular Atari games, racing games, and other games. 1985, Nintendo Entertainment System. The Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, was first released in Japan as the Famicom, but it was rebranded as the NES and released in the United States in 1985. The popularity of the console was catapulted by Super Mario Bros. Many other legendary game franchises were born on the NES, including Nintendo's Zelda, Metroid, and Square's Final Fantasy. 1989, Sega Genesis. Until the late 1980s, Sega, based in Japan, was one of the top 5 arcade manufacturers in the United States. As the market evolved, Sega shifted away from arcade games and toward the Japanese home gaming console market. After experimenting with and developing other consoles, Sega released the Mega Drive console in Japan in 1988. It was released in the United States as the Sega Genesis in 1989. The console lagged behind the Nintendo, NES, and Famicom consoles, but it grew in popularity thanks to hit games such as Sonic the Hedgehog and Mortal Kombat. 1990, Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The Super NES, also known as the Super Nintendo, was released by Nintendo in 1990. This console was released under several different names around the world, including the Super Famicom in Japan and the Super Combo in South Korea. The Super Nintendo had better 16-bit graphics than the original NES and even survived when 32-bit games became popular. In addition, the Super Nintendo was the first console to include left and right shoulder buttons. Over 49 million Super Nintendo consoles were sold globally. Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Super Mario Kart were among the most popular games for the console. 1993, Mega Drive 2, Genesis. Sega released an updated console in 1993. It was marketed as the Mega Drive 2 in Japan and simply Genesis in the United States. The new console was smaller and lighter than the original, had AV stereo sound output, and a less expensive mainboard. Sega-specific games such as Streets of Rage, Mortal Kombat, and Sonic the Hedgehog keep the console popular. 1995, PlayStation. The Sony PlayStation took the video game market by storm in 1995, selling out 100,000 units in pre-sale and more than 7 million units by 1996. The console's CD-ROM capabilities enabled 3D graphics and more complex games, resulting in a surge in popularity for new games such as Gran Turismo, Metal Gear Solid, and Resident Evil. 1996, Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 was one of the first game consoles to use a 64-bit processor, providing gamers with better graphics than any other Nintendo system before it. GoldenEye 007, Donkey Kong 64, Star Fox 64, and Super Mario 64 were all popular N64 games. 2000, PlayStation 2. Sony raised the bar yet again with the PlayStation 2 in 2000. The new console could play DVDs, which was a huge selling point at the time. It also supported backward compatibility, allowing gamers to continue playing their PS1 games. The Grand Theft Auto franchise, Shadow of the Colossus, and Kingdom Hearts were among the most popular games for this console. 2001, Xbox. Microsoft entered the console market in 2001, kicking off what became known as the console wars. To compete with PlayStation, they introduced the Xbox Live service, which allowed players to compete online. When Halo, Combat Evolved and Halo 2 became popular, the Halo franchise really got Xbox going. 2005, Xbox 360. In the midst of the console wars, Microsoft unleashed the Xbox 360 on Sony in 2005. It had better graphics, wireless controllers, and third-party streaming capabilities. Call of Duty, Halo, and Gears of War were among the most popular games. 2006. Nintendo Wii. During the console war between Sony and Microsoft, Nintendo released a family-friendly alternative. The Wii introduced the ability to play games using motion rather than simple buttons and joysticks. Using a first-of-its-kind remote, players could bowl, golf, and even duel with lightsabers, helping to get kids off the couch with active gameplay. The PlayStation 3. In 2006, Sony released the PS3 as a competitor to the Xbox 360. To compete with Xbox Live, they launched the PlayStation Network as a free alternative. Popular console games included Assassin's Creed Rogue, Far Cry 4, Red Dead Redemption, and others. 2013. One Xbox. The Xbox One, the company's current generation of consoles, was released in 2013. It, too, continued to support Xbox Live and third-party streaming, as did the Xbox 360. The new console featured enhanced graphics, a sleek design, and support for an enormous number of games. Early Xbox One games that were popular included Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Minecraft, and Fallout 4. PlayStation 4. Sony's current generation of PlayStation, the PS4, is the most advanced yet, having been released on the heels of the Xbox One. It has excellent graphics, VR capabilities, and an impressive game library to choose from. In 2018, the PlayStation 4 competes for popularity with the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. Popular console games include Fortnite, Black Ops 4, and Destiny 2. 2016. The Xbox One S. With the release of the Xbox One S in 2016, Microsoft significantly improved the Xbox One. The updated console was smaller, had the ability to upscale games from 1080p to 4K, and could stream 4K video. Sony PlayStation 4 Pro. Sony updated the PS4 in 2016 to compete with the Xbox One S's 4K upscaling. The new PlayStation 4 Pro was smaller, more streamlined, and capable of 4K upscaling. Winning, winning, winning. 2017. Xbox One X. The current Xbox generation was released in 2017 and offers even more graphics improvements over the Xbox One S and PlayStation 4 Pro. The new Xbox One X supports native 4K video and gameplay. It also has 40% more processing power than any other console currently on the market. Fallout 76, NBA 2K19, Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey are some of the most popular Xbox One X games right now. Nintendo Switch. In 2017, Nintendo changed the game by releasing a console that could do more. The new Nintendo Switch can be used as a handheld console as well as a TV-based console, and the clip-in controllers give gamers a lot of options. The most popular Switch games so far are Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. 2020, PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 was released in November 2020, 4 years after its predecessor, and helped usher in the 9th generation of video game consoles with two models: the PS5 with 4K Blu-ray drive for gamers who enjoy digital downloads, retail game support, and TV playback, and the digital edition model for gamers who rely solely on digital downloads. The console's Tempest 3D audio tech allows it to play hundreds of sound sources at once, whereas the PS4 could only play 50. Its wireless DualSense controllers include immersive haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and a built-in microphone. Higher refresh rates make gameplay feel smoother, and the PlayStation 5 has the potential to have the fastest game load times of any console on the market thanks to a custom SSD. This was the evolution of game consoles. We hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more videos about the evolution of things. Thank you for watching.